In this video, you will learn how to make sticky rice dumpling, or in Vietnamese, we call it Banh It Tran. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and prep the shrimp. Here's the shrimp that I just got from the store. So I'm gonna go ahead and salt this pretty generously. And then I'm gonna rinse it a couple of times and let it dry before I'll cook it. So this is how So for the final rinse, I just let it go through the running water. Make sure it's cold water. Get all that salt out. Make sure it's nice and clean. This way the shrimp will be really firm. So I can put it in the grinder and get that to work. I'm going to use a little bit of the pork belly in the filling, so I'm just going to slice it up and mince it and then cook it with the shrimp. So I'm going to do that real quick here. So the way that I mince it, so go ahead and do this. And then just rough chop it real good. So that's your minced pork right there. So saute the pork belly first before you add in the shrimp. I went ahead and add a pinch of salt and pepper in the pork belly, and I'm just gonna brown this up first and then add in the shrimp, because the shrimp is really quick to get that cooked. Okay, so this is what the shrimp and the pork belly look like together. Stir fry these guys up. Looks like the pink is about to turn, the shrimp is about to turn pink, so it looks good. Happy with this, so I turn off the heat. So for the dumplings fillings, I'm going to be using the mung beans. So these are the cooked mung beans that I soak for 2 hours, and then I just heat it up and let it cool. I'm putting the mung beans in.
What does it taste like? It's good?
A couple of the mung beans. Matthew, I'm filming. I'll answer your question in a little bit. Yes. And then I'm going to put in the pork belly. And then I'm going to put in a couple of the shrimpy guys. So these are the fillings for the dumplings, which is the sticky rice dumpling. In Vietnamese, we call this Banh It Tran. So mix this up.
Oh, that's good. I think I love that. That's a good one.
I'm going to taste it real quick. Pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to finish up the fillings for the sticky rice dumpling. In here I have mung beans, shrimp, pork belly. I know that doesn't sound very good, but it's going to be delicious. And I want something crunchy, so I'm going to add jiciima, chopped or minced jiciima in here. Most recipes don't have onions, but I'm going to leave the onions out. Trying something new here. I like the crunchiness when I bite into the dumplings, so I'm going to use jiciima. I guess the other option is to use water chestnut, but jiciima is what we have today, so we're going with that. So this is pretty much done. We're going to roll it into a ball. My hands are not clean, but I'll show that later. But yeah, we're going to roll it into a ball and make a dumpling out of this. So there you go.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm grabbing mixture from the bowl, putting it into the palm of my hand, oh my god, and I am forming it like so it comes into a ball. It's a little fragile, so you want to be kind of patient and no hardcore movements. And it's kind of like playing with, like if anybody has used clay before, it's a little bit like slipped clay, or if you're a younger audience, it's like Play-Doh.
Yeah, just like when you were kids.
but
Play-Doh.
it's not as firm as clay or Play-Doh though, but
That's
it's the
because
same
it's
sort of motion.
That's because it's mung beans and
Yeah,
pork and shrimp.
there's not a lot of moisture in these guys to keep them together. There's no binding agent, so.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so for the flour for the dumplings, we're going to be using the rice flour. In Vietnamese, it's called Banh It. I have 2 different brands. It doesn't matter which brand that you're going to use. But these go to the Asian market and purchase that. I don't think this is available at the grocery store, the regular grocery store.
Like Fred Meyer's,
No.
I'm not gonna have it.
So 1 bag of this is 1.5 cup of hot water. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up and get it ready to make our dumplings. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and make the flour here, pour it in slowly. Kind of make a hole in the middle. I don't want to add in all the water, but mix the water as I go because I don't want to use too much water. And then from the package, I went ahead and save a little bit right here to just in case, so we can use that to if it gets too sticky. I'm using a fork because this is hot water that we're working with and I don't want to burn my hand. Not today.
Not today.
No, maybe some other day. But not today. Uh-oh. Okay, going in. Ooh, it's still warm. Very hot.
I think the package said to do it until there's no more lumps.
Yeah. Ooh, it's still hot. This, it won't get woken up. It formed really easily. Better than other type of flours I have used before. So.
Yeah, you want to get the flour on the bottom?
Yeah, go ahead and turn it off. Okay, so Francine is going to continue to make these dumplings. The water in the steamer is boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and put the first batch in. There's 2 ways to cook the Banh It Tran. One way is you can boil it in water until it floats on top, then it's done. But I like the steaming it. My mom steams it, but she used the banana leaf instead of the parchment paper. We don't have banana leaf, so we're using parchment paper here. So I'm just gonna put these guys in the steamer. And then we're gonna set the timer for 8 minutes and cover these guys for, steam it for 8 minutes and should be done and ready to eat. So once you have the filling covered, to make it into the ball, this is what you want to do. Just put it in the palm of your hand, kind of rotate it like this. And see how cute this is? Banh It Tran. Cute, huh? And then just start another batch. And then to start, I put in a bunch of flour, but then I take it away. There's not a science behind this. Just kind of press as you go. Put the filling in. I cover one end, and I see that I have too much flour, so I pinch it and take the extra flour away. And then this right here, always go with the extra flour, but then you can always remove it. So that looks pretty good to me. Tend to stick. to your hand, but then you can just carefully remove it and then go like this. At first it won't look like a ball, but if you continue to do this, rotate it, it will form into a ball. Just have to have patience. Banh It Tran and Yesunu must have patience. In addition to all the ingredients. So we do this on special occasion, but not an everyday meal because who has the time, right? So after 8 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and take that out carefully because these guys again are very sticky. I'm just gonna put it in the bath water to stop the cooking. Take that out. Stop cooking. After 8 minutes, I think I tested one, so 8 minutes it's perfect. And then put in a new batch, start another batch, get that going. Make sure they are separated. Okay, go ahead and stop. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the shrimp in the food processor, my mini food processor. I'm gonna use the shrimp as garnish for the sticky rice dumpling. So I want a couple of the cooked shrimp that I have cooked earlier with the pork belly, but I'm just gonna use the shrimp, the pork belly. I will put that in the fillings. Just a couple of those, grind it up, and we'll use this again to garnish the dumplings. So. That looks pretty good. So it should look like this right here. Pretty good. So these are the shrimp that I put in the food processor earlier. It's kind of moist and I don't want it to be moist. I want to fry this up and get it to dry. The traditional dumpling, the garnish is the Dumpling, which is the dry shrimp. And we don't have dry shrimp, we have fresh shrimp or store-bought shrimp. And so I'm just gonna do this and get it to dry so that way we'll garnish it, the dumpling, when it comes off of the steamer. And the other thing that we're gonna garnish is the green onions. I'm gonna fry this up too and get that. And do you remember eating this now? Banh It Tran.
Very yummy.
So the Vietnamese name is Banh It Tran. Banh It is it's the sticky rice dumpling. Tran is naked. So if you translate it, it's sticky rice naked dumpling.
Okay.
So there you go. There's the name. Okay, I'll go ahead and put the final touches on the Banh It Tran here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the oil, the scallion oil on top. This has been steamed for 8 minutes and I let it cool. And then I'm gonna top it with the shrimp. As we mentioned before, the shrimp, but typically my mom used Dumpling, which is the dry shrimp, but I'm using fresh shrimp that I grind and then I fry it, saute it a little bit. And this is the yua right here, and I put it in the fish sauce. The fish sauce, we made it earlier last week. But for the Banh It Tran, I add in a little bit of these guys right here, which is the Coco Rico, because the fish sauce needs to be sweet for the Banh It Tran. And the duo is, I make this, it's homemade. It's basically pickled carrots and daikon that I put in a jar. I use a 3-to-1 ratio, 3 water, 2 vinegar, 1 sugar. And you just put it in the jar, stick it in the refrigerator for 2 days and it'll be ready. So I'm gonna serve it with the Banh It Tran a little bit.
And just to be clear about the carrots and the daikon, it's fresh before you pickle it.
Yes.
This is pickled.
Yes, fresh carrots. This is what daikon looks like. It looks kind of like carrots, but it's not. It's from the carrot family. It's just bigger. So you just take out the skin, cut it in any shape that you want. That's the shape I decided to go with, but whatever shape that you want. If you're in a hurry and you don't want to do this, you can certainly cut out the daikon and the carrots and just put it in the fish sauce and just let it soak for a little bit. I like this method better because it's really crunchy.
You like
It's really
that?
good. So, back to our Banh It Tran. This is what I have so far. And then you just pour the sauce over it. And the sauce, you want to have a generous amount of sauce on here. Yeah, and that's it. This is for all the Vietnamese dad. Your dad is not here right now. We're testing this for him. So tomorrow is Father's Day, so we'll serve him a plate of this for Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the Vietnamese dad. This is for you. This is for Ông Ngoại.